All right, fight week. Tommy Aspinall. Well, well, well. What have you got yourself into here then, eh?
I'm questioning that myself. I'm sat here in goddamn New York City, the middle of Times Square, 25 floors up, and walking around seeing my face all over Times Square. It's absolute madness, mate. But very exciting times.
Is it a bit surreal?
Uh, I think the most surreal thing is it's not really surreal for me. I don't know. I just feel really, completely comfortable, like I'm here, heavyweight title in a few days' time, and I'm completely relaxed. I've not had a training camp, not worried about it. I'm absolutely fine. Like I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Are there any advantages to having such a short training camp as you've had here?
Uh, I'm going to be honest. Ideally, I would have liked longer. Definitely, I would have liked to prepare for like 10 weeks for this if I could have.
Mhm.
But I had 2 weeks, which is not a training camp. You know what I mean? It's not by any stretch of the imagination a training camp. You got a week
Yeah.
to train, and then you're traveling. Do you know what I mean? Fight week, you're not training. I'm not bothered what anyone says. You're not putting in hard sessions on fight week. You're getting used to the time difference, and you're waiting for Saturday. So I've not had a training camp. So ideally, I would have liked longer. But also, I think it definitely brings some advantages to the mental aspect of it. To I've not had time to think about it. Do you know what I mean? It's just been like training, media, getting my visa sorted, and I'm here and I'm ready to fight on Saturday. And there's not been this massive build up like there usually is. There's not this massive build up of pressure. Like I feel like I'm just thrown into New York City now, ready to have a scrap on Saturday. And I'm pretty, so far anyway, I feel pretty relaxed about it and good. So I'm really looking forward to it, mate.
I don't want to do anything to take away from how good, calm, and confident you seem, but you've alluded to it there that you'd rather have for a fight of this magnitude a full camp. So let's say a full training camp, Tom Aspinall coming into a fight is 100%. Realistically, what are we at now for this one?
Um, I don't know. I wouldn't like to give a percentage. My body actually feels really good. I'm not the kind of guy who's like abusing his body all the time, especially since my knee injury. Like I really look after my body now. I'm not the kind. I wasn't like partying and eating and all that stuff like I was. I still train every day, whether I've got a fight or not. I still have a good diet, whether I've got a fight or not. I'm not staying up late and going out doing loads of crazy things like I used to. Like I'm still pretty focused. Whether like it's a lifestyle for me. I'm not.
Mm.
Um, I don't get out of shape and madly out of condition when I'm not fighting. So, um, to answer your question, I don't really know what kind of percent I'm at, but I'm in pretty good shape. I'm in pretty good shape right now, and I feel confident to be able to do 5 rounds with the best guy in the world on Saturday if I need to.
What happened to the cautious, patient Tom Aspinall that I can remember speaking to not too long ago, who was happy to chip away at the heavyweight division, knowing the opportunities will come in good time? Because I remember that guy. That wasn't too far ago, was it?
Well, that guy's dead and gone, Nick. To be honest with you, since I had that knee injury, just everything changed. You know,
Yeah.
like just mentally, I had a massive switch in everything. Um, And what's the point of being in this sport if you're not trying to be the best? You know what I mean? What's the point? I think a lot of it was holding me back was I knew that my body wasn't really in a good spot and I knew that my training wasn't good before. So I was always like, just a little bit longer. I need longer to prepare. And now that my body's good and all that kind of stuff, like I feel like I can beat anybody. You know what I mean? On the right night, on the right time, I can beat absolutely anybody. And I really believe in the phrase like you got to be in it to win it. And I'm going to be in there Saturday night when a lot of people said no. And I believe that I'm one of the best finishers in the UFC. So I've definitely, mate, 100% got a chance of knocking this guy out.
No doubt. No doubt. What did your dad say when you broke the news to him?
Yeah, well, my dad was in a bit of a weird spot really because I accepted the fight and they announced the fight before my dad was even awake. So he, he woke up like 5 hours after everyone else knew. Because they accepted the fight right, like 4 a.m. because that's when they called me.
Yeah.
And then they broke the news straight away. And then my dad woke up at like 8 or something, whatever, and his phone was just going mad and everything. And he rang me and was like, what's going on? I was like, listen, the UFC called me and I accepted the fight. And he was like, why? I was like, well, I just thought I'd be all right. And he's like, yeah, you will be. Don't worry about it. But like, it would have been nice to know about it first. I was like, yeah, I agree, but it was 4 a.m., so there's not a lot I could do. So yeah, he didn't really say much, to be honest. He was just like, you're in decent shape. Let's go for it. It might be your only go at it. So let's give it a whirl.
Good, good. You guys at the top of every division in the UFC are special athletes. When you look at Pavlovich, what makes him special? Beyond, obviously, he's big, he hits hard, he's tough. What is it? What are the difference makers with him, do you think?
Oh, he makes good decisions as well. He makes really good decisions. He's not, like you say, on the outside, you think he's a big swinging guy, which he definitely is. Big, massive Russian fella, comes forward, a lot of power, swinging. But he hits the right shots at the right times as well. Do you know what I mean? There's also a lot of other people in the UFC with a lot of power. And they've not got the record that he's got, then they've not got the credentials that he's got either. And I think he makes really, really good decisions, as do I. So it's going to be very interesting.
What do you think he sees when he looks at you?
I don't know. I'm not sure. He sees, he should see a heavyweight that is completely different to all the other heavyweights. He's absolutely never fought anyone who's anything like me before. That's one of the massive advantages I've got in this fight is heavyweights just simply don't move like me. So it's simple as that, mate. They just don't move like I move at all. None of them anywhere near close to how I move. So that's like a massive advantage that I've got in this fight.
It's interesting that you pinpoint like a fight IQ for him though, because I think when people look at his performances and his record, that's not necessarily the first thing that'll come to mind, is it? So you've clearly been paying proper attention to this guy, haven't you?
Yeah, well, as a big guy myself, there's plenty of big guys knocking around, mate, who can punch, and they don't all have a load of knockouts and first round finishes and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely not just being able to punch out because, mate, anybody over like 205 pounds can knock you out easy. Like, you don't even have to have good technique, but he makes the right decisions at the right time, which is something that only high level guys do.
We're so used to seeing you in your recent fights when you come out, drink it in, look around, really enjoy that moment before the fight starts. Do you think that's going to feel different on Saturday? I mean, you're breathing in Madison Square Garden air, aren't you? You're breathing in the same air that Muhammad Ali had, and is that going to be a different feel for you, do you think?
I don't know. I've not really thought about it, to be honest. I'm looking forward to it either way. I've been getting a lot of love off the New York people, to be honest, since I've been here. They seem like
Oh yeah.
massive. Yeah, they seem like massive UFC fans, and
What have they been saying? What have they been saying to you?
just good luck and stuff. You know what I mean? I've been getting a
Oh, I
lot
thought,
of
I thought, I
support.
was, thought I was going to get an impression there.
No, I don't do impressions. None of that. But they're very enthusiastic, mate. They're very enthusiastic, which
Yeah.
is great. I love that. Love that. And yeah, mate, there's nowhere else in the world that I would rather be. Nothing else I would rather be doing on Saturday night, being the fighting Pavlovich in Madison Square Garden.
All right, give me this. I'm not going to ask for a prediction because I know you don't play that kind of game. But walk me through Saturday from the moment you wake up to the moment you go back to sleep after the fight. What does the perfect day look like for Tom Aspinall?
Um, well, I'll probably be a nervous wreck. That's usually how it goes down. Spend the day on an emotional roller coaster in bed. That's usually what I do. Try and relax, but can't. Try and get up and socialise, but then struggle with that as well. So I usually have to find a balance in between like talking to people and being on my own. And then, mate, going out there and trying to enjoy myself. That's when I do my absolute best work. Don't take it too serious. It's for heavyweight title in Madison Square Garden, but I've got to put that aside, mate, and just go out there and just enjoy it because this is my absolute dream. And I'm not. I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it more than anything else. I'm not taking this thing too serious, because if I get too serious about it all, I'll freeze up in there. I'm not doing that. I'm going to enjoy this thing. And yeah, maximum enjoyment on Saturday night is what I'm aiming for.
That's when we get the best out of Tom Aspinall. Just before you go, I think the last couple of times we've spoken, I've been like, there's no need for us to be talking about boxing because you've had enough going on. But I feel like I'm kind of pinned into the corner a little bit after what happened last
Yeah.
weekend. So I'm just ask you a couple of questions before you get off. Um, who do you think Francis Ngannou should box next? Who do you think the best guy is that he could beat after that performance?
I heard a rumor that he's fighting Joseph Parker. I'm not sure how true that is, but that is definitely a fight I'd want to see, because I like watching Joseph Parker. He brings it, even though he's had a few losses here and there, but he definitely brings it. And Ngannou obviously brings it as well. So that's a fight that I'd like to see. Obviously, I'd love him to fight like AJ, Wilder, people like that. That would be absolutely incredible. But I'm quite into that Joseph
Can he
Parker.
beat those guys? Can he beat an AJ? Can he beat a Wilder?
Well, before last week, I would say absolutely not. But he just, like, what he did in his fight is absolutely unbelievable to me. I'm still in shock from it. Like, nearly 2 weeks on. So I think he can. Yeah, I honestly believe in now. I think he can. He can beat him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he really changed a lot of people's minds last weekend, didn't he? Um, Mate, you've got enough on your plate without talking about other people's boxing. Appreciate the answer. Keep smiling. Enjoy your week. We can't wait to see what you put together on Saturday night, man.
Thanks, Nick.